This is a story of two brother deers. It will teach you don't follow the crowd and let the crowd follow you. Once upon a time there was a deer who was the leader of a herd of 1,000. He had two sons. One was very slim and tall with bright alert eyes and smooth reddish fur. He was called Beauty. The other was grey in color, also slim and tall and was called Grey. One day, after they were fully grown, their father called Beauty and Grey to him. He said, I am now very old, so I cannot do all that is necessary to look after this big herd of deer. I want you, my two grown-up children, to be the leaders, while I retire from looking after them all the time. We will divide the herd and each of you will lead 500 deer. So it was done. In India, when the harvest time comes, the deer are always in danger. The rice is at its tallest and the deer cannot help but go into the paddies and eat it. To avoid destruction of their crops, the human beings dig pits, set sharp stakes in the ground, and build stone traps, all to capture and kill the deer. Knowing this was the season, the wise old deer called the two new leaders to him. He advised them to take the herds up into the mountain forest, far from the dangerous farmlands. This was how he had always saved the deer from being wounded or killed. Then he would bring them back to the lowlands after the harvest was over. Since he was too old and weak for the trip, he would remain behind in hiding. He warned them to be careful and have a safe journey. Beauty set out with his herd for the mountain forest, and so did Grey with his. The villagers all along the way knew that this was the time the deer moved from the low-lying farmlands to the high countryside. So they hid along the way and killed the deer as they passed by. Grey did not pay attention to his father's wise advice. Instead of being careful and traveling safely, he was in a hurry to get to the lush mountain forest. So he moved his herd constantly during the night, at dawn and dusk, and even in broad daylight. This made it easy for the people to shoot the deer in Grey's herd with bows and arrows. Many were killed and many were wounded, only to die in pain later on. Grey reached the forest with only a few deer remaining alive. The tall, sleek, red-furred Beauty was wise enough to understand the danger to his moving herd, so he was very careful. He knew it was safer to stay away from the villages and from all humans. He knew it was not safe in the daytime or even at dawn or dusk, so he led his herd wide around the villages and moved only in the middle of the night. Beauty's herd arrived in the mountain forest safe and sound, with no one killed or injured. The two herds found each other and remained in the mountains until well after the harvest season was over. Then they began the return to the farmland country. Grey had learned nothing from the first trip. As it was getting cold in the mountains, he was in a hurry to get to the warmer lowlands, so he was just as careless as before. Again the people hid along the way and attacked and killed the deer. All Grey's herd were killed, later to be eaten or sold by the villagers. Grey himself was the only one who survived the journey. Beauty led his herd in the same careful way as before. He brought back all 500 deer completely safe. While the deer were still in the distance, the old chief said to his doe, "Look at the deer coming back to us. Beauty has all his followers with him. Grey comes limping back alone, without his whole herd of 500. Those who follow a wise leader with good qualities will always be safe. Those who follow a foolish leader who is careless and thinks only of himself will fall into troubles and be destroyed." After some time, the old deer died and was reborn as he deserved. Beauty became chief of the herd and lived a long life, loved and admired by all. A wise leader puts the safety of his followers first. Where there is no vision, the people perish. Leadership is the capacity to translate vision into reality. A leader is a dealer in hope. Time is neutral and does not change things. With courage and initiative, leaders change things. A leader is the one who knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way. Men make history and not the other way around. In periods where there is no leadership, society stands still. Progress occurs when courageous, skillful leaders seize the opportunity to change things for the better. Don't follow the crowd. Let the crowd follow you. If you want to be a leader who attracts quality people, the key is to become a person of quality yourself. Great leaders have three things: inner light, inner vision, and inner strength. Leaders don't create followers, they create more leaders. Leaders think and talk about the solutions. Followers think and talk about the problems. We are here for a reason. I believe a bit of the reason is to throw little torches out to lead people through the dark.